So I finished my query and my synopsis. It is Wednesday. Of course, my kitten has to take the spotlight. She's playing with the loudest toy that she hasn't paid attention to in like 3 days, but she sees I have the phone, so. And now there goes my vacuum cleaner. Girl. Okay, so I finished the query letter and the synopsis, and huge thank you to my writing group, Anna and Sarah. They 110% helped me cut those down, those 2 documents down, so that I could get them to the right word count for us to start querying. We've got the query, we've got the synopsis, and I have my agent list ready to go. We are going to hit submit on some queries tomorrow, and that will be Thursday, July 30th. I'll be sending out my first batch of queries, and yeah, so I'll start making that query video, and that will be some time before I get that out to you all. I wanted to give a little query update. First of all, if you haven't noticed, the house is painted. I will probably film an intro video, so you guys are gonna know that, and when I film the intro video, the stuff will be put up, like you can see right here where we've like taped off the outlet, and then like over here is like the ladder still out from when we were doing the painting yesterday. So I am filming this before the intro video. I don't even know if I'll film the intro video in my living room, but anyways, this is a query update. I never even shared when I sent out my first batch of queries. I sent out the first 4 on July 31st. My goal was to start querying on August 1st, so I was a day ahead. I was super excited about that, and so I made my group of the first 8 agents that I wanted to query, and I did the 4 that you could submit on Query Tracker. So I submitted to the first 4 that had query manager forms on my lunch break at work that day. And I ended up doing the other 4 agents the following day on August 1st. They wanted you to submit to them through email, so I needed to have a little bit more time to make sure that I put everything in those emails the way that they requested before I sent those off. So I did them the following day. So by August 1st, my first 8 queries were sent out, and I got my first message back on August 2nd, and it was from one of the agents that I had emailed. So just a day response, which was really nice to get something that quick back, but it was a rejection, and it was just a form rejection, so didn't get too much from that. And it was probably one of the shortest form rejections I've received, because I have queried once before, so I don't really know how to read into that one by knowing if it was my query wasn't resonating or my opening pages weren't resonating. So I'm going to go ahead and send out one more query just to fill that slot of the agent that I got a rejection from. So got the first one out the way. It wasn't terribly painful. I mean, it sucked, don't get me wrong, but I still have 7 other agents, and then plus this next one that I'm gonna add to the list. So we'll see where it goes from there, and I will check in with y'all when there's an update. I just wanted to do a quick query update. I think this will be the first one that I'll have done in this video. I have officially been querying for 3 weeks. I started querying on July 31st and it is August 20th. So I do want to go over some stuff, and it looks like I have 2 emails from Query Tracker, so let's see if they are from agents or if it's just like Query Tracker news. Okay. So it looks like it's just Query Tracker news, so nothing from any agents. So I'm going to pull up my stats here so we can have our check-in. So I have queried a total of 18 agents between July 31st and August 1st. No, between July 31st and August 20th. I did 2 batches. My first batch was 8 agents, and I got 1 rejection the next day. So my query was like a day old, and it was a form rejection. And then I had 1 on Query Tracker, because that first one that was a rejection was through email, which you can still, like, if they are agents on Query Tracker, then you can still add it to like your list. It'll just say that it was through email versus Query Tracker itself. So that was over email. Then my second rejection came at a week, and that was through Query Tracker. Again, a nice form rejection. And then I believe I had been, no, and then I got my third rejection, and that was also over email at 12 days. So at 2 weeks, I had, I can't remember, I think I sent out 8, and then I had the 2 rejections, so I had 6 that were active. And I just got form rejections, so I decided at 2 weeks to send out my second batch just to see what kind of response I got from that. And then depending on the response I got from the second batch, and that one was 10, so I had, I'm trying to do math here. I had 15 that were active submissions. Yes, because I did 18 total, and I had gotten 3 rejections from the first batch. So yes, I have 15 total. And then that second batch, I've had 1 agent get back to me who was not from the original batch. He was from the second batch, and the query was 4 days old, and he rejected. And I wasn't really sure with him. He accepted a lot of genres. Like, he was on Query Manager, so he had horror as one of the genres that he accepted, but he didn't talk a lot about horror in his like MSWL or anything like that. So I was not surprised by that one. And again, he was very nice in his rejection, and it was a form rejection as well. So, as of now, August 20th, I have 14 active queries, and I think I'm in a couple of maybe piles. So we'll see. And my oldest ones are 21 days at this point. So yeah, it's officially been 3 weeks. And I will update you again soon. Okay, it is August 22nd. I opened up my iPad just to go look at Query Tracker to see if I'd gotten any responses, and I did see like a little sliver of an email notification that I got a response from one of the agents, and so I decided I was gonna record my live reaction to see if it is a request or another rejection. Let's see. It is another form rejection. So unfortunately not quite right for my list at this time. Okay, well, that is another rejection to add to the pile. So we've got, I think, let me see. I thought this would have been, here we go. So we've got 13 active submissions out. So we will see what happens. I will catch you up again later. My longest queries are currently at 35 days, and I haven't gotten any new responses since the last time I chatted with you all. So we are still waiting for some kind of feedback. I don't know if my query and or pages are working. So we will see. I will keep you posted. Oh, and it is September 5th, 2025. So, yeah. Anyways, I am going to get started on some schoolwork and some beta reading for one of my friends. Okay. Bye. Okay, you are gonna have to excuse my face. I was already crying about something else. When I opened my iPad and saw that I have a query response from someone who is, I know you're not supposed to have a favorite agent, but she is mine, and I'm a little nervous because she is typically not a fast responder, so I feel like this is probably going to be a rejection. So we'll see what she said. And I'm preparing myself for a rejection, and I already have the face for it. So let's see. It is a pass. So I can continue my cry session here. So we'll be back next time. Y'all, I've been so bad about updating the query vlog because it's been mostly silence. So anytime something does happen, yeah, I forget to pull out my camera to record the moment of me opening things. But I have had some things happen, probably since the last time I updated, which I'm not sure when that is. I'll find out when I start editing. But I can tell you, well, I'll just throw this in here because I don't know if I made a video about it before, because I've mostly had silence and form rejections, but I did get a partial request, and I don't know if I made a video for that. So if I did not, you're seeing this right now. I got a partial request, and it wasn't long. I think it was maybe like 4 or 5 days later, I got a response, and it ended up being a rejection. The agent was very nice and personable, and it was nice to get that personal rejection after receiving a partial instead of a form rejection. which is normal to get at any stage of the process, but especially for a partial, usually it's a form rejection from what I hear and see. But yeah, so that was nice. So I appreciate that. I stopped sending out queries for a while for a couple of reasons. It was the holidays, and then I also had some personal things that I was dealing with that made it really hard to focus on anything at all. So it was just like I was not hearing anything from any agents, and then also I wasn't sending any more out. I think I had sent out, I don't know, maybe 20 something before the holidays, which is not a lot. So I think I had done like 2 batches before the holidays. So yeah, that was the last update I think I gave you all. I closed out some of my queries so that I could query other agents at the agencies, and one of those at the time of this video, and it is January 21st, I had not received, I don't even know where I was at this point. So I closed out 2 of my queries. They had been, I think, over 120 days sent, and just following their guidelines, I didn't expect to hear back from them, and I wanted to query other agents at their agency. If I didn't want to query other agents at their agency, I probably would have just left it, and maybe I would have gotten a response, maybe not, but I did want to query somebody else, so I closed those out as a CNR and sent out the 2 fresh queries, and one of them I had not heard back from, and I wanted to query another agent there. So, because their policy is like after 30 days, if you haven't heard back from the agent, then you can submit to another agent. And the way their form is set up, if you try to send before the 30 days, it'll bounce back and you won't be able to submit it. So you have to wait that 30 days. So I think I ended up waiting like maybe 60 days with the first one and 45 days with the second one before I went ahead and sent the third and final query to an agent at that agency. And I got a full request from that agent. So that actually is the 3rd full request I got in a matter of days, less than a week. I got 3 full requests from agents, and all 3 of these agents, I sent in the query and they requested the full the next day. So that super like 180 turnaround from how Project Marbles was doing before the holidays. And the most exciting news that I have to update this vlog is that one of those agents has gotten back to me and said that they loved reading the book and they requested a call. So I have set up a call with one of the agents, and we'll be speaking with them in less than a week. I scheduled it for next week when I'm off of work. We were just out for the holiday, and the way the holiday fell, I had an extra day off. And then after that, I had a meeting at one of our other locations. So I have not been in my office since last week. So I figured I'm not going to rock the boat and try to take leave for the call, and just scheduled it for my next day off. I am off on Mondays, so that works really well. So that it's my day off, but the agent's typical work week day. So I will come back and update if I hear anything else from any other agents that I queried, or if it's after the call, and I will try to record the call. Obviously not with audio, but just before we log on. So, all right, thanks. Bye. I'm about to hop on my first agent call. I'm extremely nervous for multiple reasons, especially because my little kitty here. Can you say hi? She's being very clingy today, so the fact that I have to kick her out of the room, I'm hoping she gets like quiet and doesn't start crying and meowing the whole time I am on the call. But I'm about to go get my big cup of water, sit down, woo-saw, and go over my questions one more time, and then I will get you all set up and I will jump on the call. And wish me luck. Okay, I've got my questions, a notebook, and the Zoom set up. So I am gonna stand up and do the superhuman pose to like try to calm my nerves a little bit because I am starting to freak out. I also have my water bottle because my mouth is already getting dry, and we've got 3 minutes before this starts. Okay. I'm going to log in now, so wish me luck.
Hi Sheila, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you? I have an offer of representation. I'm freaking out. Okay, so now I have to send emails to other agents, but of course I need to call my family and friends because I just sent off all my nudges for offer of I'm so tired, I can't even talk. I just sent off all the nudges to let the remaining agents on my list know that I got an offer representation. In the process of doing that, I already got 2 emails of agents pulling out. They were very nice and polite. One agent said basically that they weren't going to have time to read the materials in the deadline that I provided, and then the other agent, guys, I don't think you understand how exhausted I am. The other agent sent me a long note and praised my writing and said that what she did read of my submission, that she could tell I was a talented writer, and she really liked what I had and appreciated the story. So the story was good, but that it didn't quite fit her list at this time. So, and then right before I shut my iPad to put on some comfy clothes and just make sure I have everything together, I have to go to the day job tomorrow, and I'm about to relax on the couch with a big glass of wine because I am exhausted. But before I shut down my iPad for the night, I did get a response from one of the agents that has my full manuscript and requested the full right around the time that the agent who ended up offering today requested the full manuscript, and they said, you know, congratulations, and that they will definitely let me know their interest by the deadline, if not before that. So that was good to hear that they were still considering the manuscript. So yeah, that's my update for today. I contacted my family that I had kind of been updating about what's going on, and then of course my writing group, who were both very excited and wanted to know the scoop on the call. So I had to get in contact with them and fill them in before I started sending all of the nudges that I had. So definitely still have a good bit out, so we'll see what I hear back tomorrow, and I will keep you posted. Good night. Okay, so I almost forgot to do my update for today, and I look like a floating head because it's dark in here. I had already turned off all of my like big lights for the night, and I'm too lazy to turn them back on. So you can see my face, that's good enough. So I sent out all of the remaining nudges last night to agents that had my materials, and woke up with some more pull requests, and of course some agents that were stepping aside, and a couple of those came back with a little bit of a personal note in there that they read the pages and complimented my writing, which is always nice to hear. But one said it wasn't a fit for her list, and the other, I don't think she can make the deadline. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. But I, throughout the day, got a couple of other passes, and then I got a few more requests. So ending today, January 27th, the day after I got my first offer of representation, if you include that agent, I have now had a total of 7 full requests, and there are 6 other agents considering my work. I don't, like, the imposter syndrome is starting to sit in a little bit. I don't understand how this happened. I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong, but I have been querying this book since August, and to go from like complete silence to, you know, form rejections here and there to just like this. 7 agents. What? I don't know. I am like ecstatic. Yeah, I've wanted this for so long. I can't believe it. So anyways, that's the update for today. I will check back in with you all tomorrow. I, of course, will check my email like one more time before I go to bed. So if there's something, you'll see another clip from tonight. But if not, I will check in tomorrow. Thanks. Bye. Checking in for today, January 28th. I have some updates. So I got let's see. I need to count. Hold on. Okay, I got 2 more offers. No. I wish. I got 2 more full manuscript requests today. So sent those off. And I don't know what that brings our total to. I will have it somewhere here on the screen. But I also received, now I need to count again. I got 4 emails today from agents stepping aside after I sent the nudge of the offer of rep. And then I did have one agent who had requested the full send me an email today and say that she was gonna step aside as well. So that's okay. That brings us, I think, the last time I checked, and if not, somewhere here is gonna actually have the correct total, but I think that brings me to a total of 8, I want to say 8 agents who, like, including the one that offered, who are kind of in the mix right now. I think I have a way to look. Just give me a second, because now I'm curious myself. Okay, yes. So there's 8, including the one who offered, that are in the mix. So 7 that are reading the full. And we'll see where it goes. Tomorrow's a new day, but that was the update for Wednesday, January 28th. And we still have a week and a half left. So it's only been 2 days since my first meeting. I'm hoping to get at least 1 other call. 2 other calls would be cool. And I can kind of like weigh my options. So yeah, we'll see. And I will, of course, check back in tomorrow. Bye. I'm not gonna lie, today was a rough one for me. It is January 29th, I believe. And so last night, I'm pretty sure it was after I checked in, I did get an email from an agent who did not want to request the full, so they never had the full, but it was at an agency that I really wanted to at least have a phone call with, so that sucks. I'm gonna try to move this so my screen cannot be read in my glasses. And then is this possible? Could just take my glasses off. Hold on. As you can see, my eyes are red. I'm very tired. I'm overwhelmed. And I'm trying really hard not to get like overly emotional or lose my shit during this time frame. Yeah, because getting all of the like full request obviously was nice, but now getting constantly shut down in such a short amount of time is really making me it's really making me question if the book is actually any good. So basically everything today has been stepping aside. And I think the last 2 messages just like it's really knocking my confidence. So the first one today was around 2, and it was from one of the agents that had the full prior to the offer, and it was at one of the agencies that are top of my list, and I felt like the story would really fit there, but hers was a form rejection, which also really sucks. Like, I understand how busy agents are, so this is not like a knock on the agent whatsoever, and I'm not like mad. It's just disheartening, I guess, especially because I had conversed with this agent who had my full prior to the offer. Then we spoke over Query Tracker when I got the offer, and now to get the form response after that time with my manuscript. It hurts, to be honest. So that was like a little after 2. Then a little before 3, so within the same hour, I got another response, and it was with the other agent that had my full prior to the offer. And though I don't know if this is a form response, they don't mention it in here, whereas the previous agent did put in their message that this is a form response, so there was no questioning. This one I'm not sure, but the agent said that the book was not their cup of tea. So that one sucked. Yeah. So soon after that, I was already like starting to doubt myself, but then I was like, why are you being I don't know, like a baby about this? You already have an offer, and it's something you've waited for years and years, and something that other writers are like craving. So like, why are you upset? So I kind of started to feel a little bit better, more like myself. And then an hour and a half later, I got another email, and it was another rejection. Now, I have already received passes from all the agents that had my full prior to the offer. So anything moving forward are agents who requested the full after I notified them of my offer. So this agent, which they told me in their original email back to me when I, let them know that I had an offer of rep, that I was in their maybe pile. So they did want a chance to read it, so asked me for the full manuscript and the synopsis and the query, and I sent that all over, and they were going to get to reading soon. And then they told me today that they found themselves hung up on a certain part of my book, and that they could not find an idea of how to rectify the issue. So that one stung the most, I think, because it was very direct feedback, which I appreciate. That's what you want, so that you can kind of understand why. But for it to be such a stark difference of what the offering agent said about the story, I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of my mood for the day. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. There is still let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's still 10 more days. And there is still, I think, 4 more agents that I'm waiting to hear back from. And I did not receive any more requests for the material. So yeah, we've got 4 more, and hopefully I get some more phone calls just so I can kind of like see other, agenting styles and ask more questions and kind of see how the vibe is. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but at least getting these today, I can kind of like rein in my expectations and kind of accept that I might be hearing some hard things over the next week and a half, and that it's going to be okay. But anyways, that's where we're at. I'm gonna go pour myself a glass of wine and fix my dinner for the night. So I'll check back in tomorrow. Bye. It is Saturday morning, Saturday, January 31st. I did not have any updates from yesterday. Well, I did have one agent get back to me that I had nudged with the offer on Monday. They were just getting back to me and saying that they were stepping aside. So it wasn't anyone that had my full already. So besides that, I didn't hear anything, and I did pretty good about managing how many times I looked at my email. I only checked my email 3 times yesterday, maybe 4, and that felt much better. But this morning I woke up to check it for the first time and got a response from one of the remaining 4 that had my full, and I'm actually getting kind of numb at this point. They said that the concept intrigued them, but the writing... Hold on, let me look, because I had just texted my writing group about it. So the concept intrigued me, I just didn't fall in love with the writing. Yeah, so if I was questioning myself and my skills before, I am doing so even more now. So yeah, I expect to hear back from the last 3 over today and tomorrow, as it is the weekend, and if they want to set up a call, doing so next week is probably going to be, well, definitely going to be the time to do that. So wish me luck. I'm hoping for one more, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I will definitely keep you updated. Good morning. It is the morning of February 3rd, and I literally just woke up a while ago, so I apologize if there's sleep in my eye, but I wanted to give you all an update. I think the last update I gave you is that one of the 4 remaining fools had stepped aside, and full as in agents that have my full manuscript. I realized after I said it sounded kind of like I said fools, and no, these individuals are actually geniuses because they asked for my full manuscript. So anyways, that is literally the last update I have. I survived the weekend of no negative news. And I texted my writing group and I was like, I'm going to take this as a good sign because they read through the weekend and are not stepping aside. So, you know, Monday morning manifestation. And I went through yesterday as well without hearing anything. So I'm going to continue to tell myself that is great news. That they are reading it and they're not stopping and they're enjoying it. They're enjoying the ride. That is, she doesn't live here. So my deadline is Sunday. So that would give me Monday to have the day to think about any decision I might possibly have. And yeah, so we still have, what is that? We still technically have 6 days before the deadline. I would love to have a phone call or a meeting at least a couple days before the deadline so that I can think about things. So we're still in there. We're not giving up yet. And I will update you before I go to bed tonight and see if we hear anything else today. Okay, bye. I am doing a check-in video. It is February 3rd? No, 4th. Right? Yes. I'll put the correct date somewhere on here. I'm pretty sure it's the 4th. I received 2 messages today from the 3 remaining agents, and they were both stepping aside. One said they weren't ultimately I can't remember. Something, they didn't like it, but it wasn't mean. Like, I didn't get any, like, mean vibes or anything. It just wasn't for them. And the other one, I just read more recently, so that's why I'm remembering the phrasing a little bit better. But they said that I was a wonderful writer. They just weren't as, they didn't use the word obsessed, but essentially obsessed with the project the way they would need to be in order to be its best advocate. So, nice feedback, but seems very form, which at this stage of the process is the name of the game, right? So, I have one more agent that I'm waiting to hear back from, and I am hoping to hear back from them tomorrow. My deadline is set for Sunday, so I am hoping to hear back tomorrow so that we can set up a call and discuss the project. So yeah, I am going to update you tomorrow, hopefully, but the next time I have an update for you. So that's it. Okay. Bye. Surprise, it is February 10th. So it's been, I guess, not quite a week since I last updated. So you might be wondering, Shayla, how are you just doing an update? It's past your deadline. Well, let me tell you what happened. So Friday, I sent out the nudge to the remaining agent that had my Fool. And then I had watched another author vlog that day on my lunch break at work, and the author had said that she had read somewhere that if you have other agents that you may have nudged with the offer and hadn't heard back from, if any of those agents are ones that you would like definitely want to work with, it wouldn't hurt to just send them like another nudge, like as a last Hail Mary, hey, you know, my deadline's coming up. So I did do that with 2. I think there was 16 that I had not heard back from since I nudged, and there was 2 on that list that I was like, I actually would really like to talk to these people, so I sent them a nudge. And as of today, that was the 6th, and as of today, I still haven't heard from one of them. I'm assuming that's a pass, which is fine. And the other one got back to me not even 2 hours later. And the response I got is so heartbreaking. They got back and said, hey, Shayla, thank you for thinking of me. And then they were like, I, for the life of me, could not find your original message, but as it turns out, your initial query and then your nudge of offer of rep both ended up in my spam folder. So I never saw them. Not sure how this message broke through. But yeah, your pitch is like right up my alley, but I'm not going to have time to read it. Thanks for thinking of me. So that one stung a little because I was like, oh, okay, that's someone that I wanted to work with and it could have worked out. But I've been trying to like tell myself what's meant for me is not going to pass me by. So, you know, that's just the universe was saying that that was not right for me. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just wasn't meant to be. So it stung for a little bit that night. I'm not going to lie, but you know, it is what it is. So I ended up asking for an extension Sunday night. I was supposed to have my deadline yesterday on the 9th to make a decision with the offering agent, but I didn't feel like I had completed my due diligence and I just wanted a little extra time. I wanted to follow back up with the client references that the offering agent sent over, and so I sent the agent a message Sunday night and just asked if I could have a week extension, and I can't remember the exact phrasing now, but basically that I needed a little bit more time to come to a decision. And they got back to me Monday morning, like first thing, and said that that was totally fine and was reasonable, and you know, once I complete my due diligence, they look forward to hearing from me. So that was good. And so the agent that had my full, I still hadn't heard back from. And so I was gonna just, because I had the week extension, I was gonna go ahead and send them an update and just say, hey, my deadline is extended. Not sure if you're still interested, but if you are, there's another week. And so I had like drafted up the email, but then I got distracted doing other stuff around the house, and it was kind of a busy morning. It was a busy day in general yesterday, and I finally got a moment to send the email. And when I logged into my email, the agent had sent me an email and was very complimentary of the manuscript and my writing and the premise of the story, and said they were so sorry they missed my deadline, and you know, they were so happy that I was able to match with an agent, and they would be first in line to buy the manuscript or to buy the book once it hits bookstores. So I was like, well, crap. Should I still send this update? And I was like, you know, what the heck? Why not? Let's just send it. They seem very interested in the manuscript and just happened to miss the deadline. At least that's what I'm gathering from it. So I sent an update and said, hey, I actually just got a free moment and was about to send you this update. I am, you know, gathering all information, and I am reviewing all information and trying to hear back from references. And so I got a deadline extension and just wanted you to be aware in case you were still interested. And I look forward to hearing from you. So that was yesterday morning that I sent that. And since then, there's been no update from that agent. And I spent today, you know, doing my due diligence and my research and all of that I said I was going to work on for the reason why I asked for the extension. So yeah, that's the update, and I will be back when I have more to share. So, okay, bye. I just have a quick update for tonight. I am extremely exhausted. I met a friend for dinner yesterday, and we were catching up and stuff, so I'm tired. It's been a long 2.5 weeks, this process. So I don't know if I updated yesterday or not, but if not, I will just repeat myself. I got a publisher's marketplace quick pass yesterday to do, you know, some research and continue to work on my due diligence. And so that was kind of cool to see some of the stuff on there. And I sent I forget what I called it, but just a deadline extension nudge, I guess, to the remaining agent that has my Fool to just bring the note up to the top of their inbox because of the whole spam situation with one of the other agents. I wanted to make sure that the deadline extension update did not get lost in the shuffle. So sent that yesterday morning, and then this evening I sent some final follow-up questions to the offering agent, and I'm hoping to hear back tonight or in the morning. And then yeah, I'll have the weekend to figure out what I'm doing. So yeah, that's the update, and I will check back in maybe tomorrow, if not Saturday. Yeah, so I'll talk to you later. Good night. This is gonna be very short. It is late. I went and saw Wuthering Heights today, which, by the way, chef's kiss. Yeah, definitely go see it. Run to the theater and make sure you bring tissues for sure. Anyways, so I went and saw that with one of my friends that I don't get to spend a lot of time with, so I definitely wanted to make sure I did that. And then I also just got finished doing a homework assignment. If this is your first time being introduced to me, I am in a graduate certificate program. It's from the same university I got my master's in writing from, and my master's was in technical and professional writing, and they started a graduate certificate program in creative writing the semester that I graduated with my master's. So at the time I was like, no, I just want to finish my master's and I'm done for now. But I did come back, and so I'm in the creative writing program now. My current course that I'm working on is screenwriting, which is a form of writing that I have never done but have always been interested in. So it is a bit slower for me to write it, but I'm enjoying it. So all that being said, it's late. I'll do a more formal like video wrapping things up tomorrow, but I am wrapping things up because I officially accepted an offer of representation. I sent the email, well, I drafted it up earlier in the morning and then had it scheduled to send like while I was in the movie theater, because the timing of me being in the movie theater, it was just better for me to schedule it. So scheduled it, and when I got back home, I received the email from the agent that said that they were excited and would be getting back to me on next steps. So yeah, I haven't officially signed anything yet, so I will probably wait to release this video or any announcements until then. I did get some gorgeous, gorgeous flowers from my writing group, and I will again go into, there's a little funny story to go with that. I'll go into that tomorrow, but I will insert a picture of the flowers here. I am going to take the flowers to work tomorrow, to my day job, because I don't really have a place to keep them here at my home. Well, where they will be safe, because I have 2 cats. And I could keep them in my office here, but I wouldn't get to enjoy them quite as much as if I just took them to my day job. So I'm going to be bringing them with me to work tomorrow. And yeah, I